Oh man, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? So I really wanted to like get on here and like just have a conversation about what's happening, what's going on, like why are so many of us respectfully not leveraging and taking advantage of everything that life insurance can do for us as well as do for our family. There's so many people that be like, oh yeah, you can get life insurance, but yeah, I might as well just invest. I might as well, I could put $100 into life insurance, but I can also put $100 into the stock markets. Yeah, you can do that, but you can't put the same $100 into the stock market. You can put a different $100 into the stock market, but not the exact same $100. But it would make sense for you if you wanted to do that to leverage both of those $100. That $100 that you put into the stock market is going to grow over time. That's going to be a future benefit to you and your family. But God forbid something happened tomorrow, that stock market $100 is not going to save your family. And that's why it's super important for you to get $100 if that's your budget worth of life insurance to protect tomorrow, to protect the journey. So many of us are like, yeah, I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna be rich. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna go into real estate. My family gonna be good. I'm gonna have it set up, to where they have this in the future and that in the future. It's like, okay, that's great. You probably going to get a chance to do that, but what if you don't? What if you get into a situation where you just don't come home tonight, or you don't come home tomorrow, or you don't wake up in the morning? You want to make sure that you got something in place to protect your babies. So I really just wanted to just get on here and this is my first live, guys. I want to just get on here and just have a quick conversation and let's talk about like what's going on. What are we doing? What are we putting in place for ourselves? What are we putting in place for our families? Like there's so many people that's like, insurance doesn't make sense to me. It's a scam. Because if I get, 30 years of term insurance, at the end of that 30 years, I'll live that insurance. Now what? Now what happens? Well, now there's options where you can actually get your money back. If you put in $100 each month for that insurance for 30 years and you actually outlive that insurance, great, amazing, God bless you. We want to live. We don't want to die in order for our family to get rich or get money or whatever. But if you outlive that insurance, there is options for you to get that money back. Return on premium, COD. Like there's so many different options out there that are just making us or putting us in better positions to where we can actually start leveraging life insurance. I just want us to just finally just get out of our own head and stop thinking that the insurance that we have on our job is going to protect us. Like that money is not, that insurance policy is not yours. You do not own that. They didn't even give you the insurance. They didn't even give you all the paperwork for that insurance policy. They give you a certificate, and it's great to have. You work a job and they offer it, of course, get the max, get whatever they have, max out on it because it's really inexpensive. And God forbid something happens and you're still working for them, that insurance could definitely come in place. But you also want to have something that you own yourself. You want to have something that you control and have and own yourself. And that's just all we're talking about today. I sit back and I spend my days like literally I get up every day and I'm calling so many people and I'm talking to dozens of people, several dozens of people every day. I'm calling, just having conversation, just literally just building relationships and just starting conversations with people about life insurance, about financial literacy, about what they think life insurance is. And I'm just listening. I'm just getting on the phone. I'm just listening. I'm just listening to see what people have to say, to see where they are, mentally, what their mindset is about life insurance, and really try to dig deep and see what's holding them back from, pushing a button or putting the trigger on getting more life insurance or getting some life insurance. Because you'd be surprised. Like, I don't know the numbers exactly, but I know that a third of the country don't have life insurance. Almost a half of the country are improperly insured or don't have enough life insurance. So The market is definitely out there. It's just that the conversation needs to be had more. We need to be talking about this more. I literally was just in a deep discussion on Facebook probably about a week ago, with a friend who had posted something about life insurance, and it was just it wasn't really like surprising or alarming. It was discomforting just to hear people like really like have almost a negative connotation about life insurance because it for the most part it involves somebody dying, but dying is inevitable, right? So if you are an adult and you have kids and it's your responsibility, of course, while you're living, but now these are options that gives you that same responsibility to take care of your kids even after you pass. You would think that that would be something that you would want to make sure that you put higher on your list of bills every month. So many of us be like, oh, I don't want to think about, I don't want to think about dying. And why do we have to put, death into the equation when it comes to taking care of my family? I want to be, I want to be able to do that while I'm living. Well, of course, we all want to do that, but you want to, and the way I like to say it is you want to protect the journey. You really want to just set yourself up, set your family up for anything. For anything. You really want to stay ready so that you don't have to get ready. You really want to make sure that you're properly insured because that's going to protect your kid. That's going to protect your kids and make sure that they are assured. You know what I'm saying? You want to make sure that they are definitely taken care of. And the only way that you can, well, I'm sorry, not the only, but the easiest way, the number one way to do that, to pass down a legacy is going to be through life insurance. So man, I can go on and on and on. I just really just want to just put it out there and just talk to people and just let them know that, right now is the best time to make sure that you're properly protected because there's so many different options, depending on what the dynamics of your family is, but making sure that you're properly protected is definitely something that you want to do. So if you're watching this video, follow me, subscribe, share. I'm literally just having these conversations every day because I'm talking to so many people every day that respectfully are just ignorant. They just don't know. Ignorant is not a negative word. It just means that they just haven't been exposed to the information. And a lot of people, and this is something that we don't think about, but so many of us, that, obviously, the numbers are the numbers. The 1% is the 1%, the 5% is the 5%, the 10% is the 10%, and so on. But when we're part of the bigger percentage of Americans, meaning that we have, the least amount of income, the least amount of resources, the least amount of assets and things like that, our relationship, even as a parent, although we want to do amazing things and the best things for our family and for our kids, the relationship with money or wealth, it isn't there. So unconsciously, when someone presents to you about, getting a half a meal, of $2 million worth of life insurance to pass down to your kids, man, unconsciously, so many people just be like, yeah, it sounds good. Like they be nodding their head, yes, but inside their heart is saying, no, I'm not doing that. Like nobody, I mean, I literally hear it. Like no, they be like, nobody did that. Nobody did that for me. You know what I'm saying? So why would I? I will position myself to spoil my kids and give them all this money. Then they just end up squandering it or messing over it or doing bad things with it. And it's so sad because all that is just negativity, and you don't have that positive relationship with money, so you are unconsciously like putting that negativity in the future on your kids. And I'm learning that not a lot of, but an uncomfortable percentage of parents like unconsciously think like that. Like they literally, when someone presents to them about getting, a half a mil or $1 million worth of life insurance on themselves to protect their kids or to pass down to their kids or for their grandkids, like they want to do it, but it's like the ideal of investing into something like that to set up their kids to do something that what they think is so drastic for their kids that was never done for them, it really puts up a brick wall. And they'll never say it. They'll never say it, but that like some have is what I'm saying. And it's just like, wow. Like you and then I had to like sit back and I had to think about it. And at first I was like, wow, that's really messed up. Like I just can't believe that a parent would actually like communicate that to me as a broker and like literally like open up and be transparent and like say that. But the truth is just, money is connected with emotion and feeling. And so many of us have such a bad relationship with money because growing up, whenever we wanted something, we were told no. Or whenever something came up about more money, it was always don't talk about that or we don't talk about that. That was never really a conversation at the dinner table about money. Why? Because we didn't have any. So there was nothing to talk about. It was just living paycheck to paycheck just to pay the bills. And when it got short or when it got tight, that's when the frustrations came. That's when the negativity came. That's when the toxicity came. So and we all know that money is the number one cause of relationships, not lasting or marriages failing. So it really, really, really opens up a door and really puts and shines a light on a situation or communications that we just didn't have. And so now here we are in 2022, and still to this day, the number one way, to pass on generational wealth is life insurance. So my phone, my emails, my direct messages, all this stuff should be, man, it should be blowing up for all of us, for all the insurance agents out there. Like our phone should be going crazy because because what we do and the service that we provide and the education that we provide on this topic is number one. It's number one for making sure that your babies are good. God forbid if something happens to you prematurely. And as you really just think that so many more of us would be on that train. And then it gets so deep because when we don't create that foundation for the next generation with life insurance, and then we go into our neighborhood and we wonder why our neighborhoods look the way they look, and then we're tired of it looking like that, but we don't have the resources and the power. We don't have, the say so in order to make change because we don't own the blocks. We don't own the land. We don't own the lots. We don't own the property, the real estate, the houses. We don't own that stuff. We're just renting because nothing was passed down to give us nothing was passed down to give us a head start. It blows my mind when I think about it because I'm literally thinking from myself like a self like perspective. Like if I'm looking, I'm just I want y'all to stay with me. I'm really like thinking back over the years. I'm 41 now. I'm about to be 42, and I'm thinking about all the people that has passed before me that was related to me. And if there was, respectfully, if there was just $50 to $100,000 that was resurgent back or that recycled back into my family, not to my immediate family, not to my mom, my dad, not directly, not even directly to me, out of all the people that have died in my family over my life, if there was just $50 to $100,000 worth of life insurance each time they came back into our family, I know for a fact that me and so many others in my family that are around my age or younger would be in totally would have had options to be in totally different financial situations. And that's a fact. Because we tend to think that, oh, for nobody in your immediate family, you know, so crazy. Nobody in your immediate family, in my immediate family, which would be my mom, my brothers, my dad, you know, have died, right? But we're talking about everybody in our family. So outside of my immediate family of what my mom and my dad made, my mom is part of an immediate family. So when we talk about all these people that have passed, whether it be a cousin, a nephew, a aunt, a uncle, whomever, a niece, whatever, not all of the money, but some of that money would have found its way into my life. So that's how important and that's how valuable life insurance is. I don't know who you are, first person that's watching me, but you are the first. Um, it's like I just want so many people to like get a better understanding about this and just like think about like every day I get up, when I wake up, with a blessing. I go to work, I make it home with a blessing. You know, everything that I'm doing, everything that my husband is doing, everything that my wife is doing is to provide, for this family. If they don't come home, then their contribution stops. So that's why it's super important to make sure that you put some quality life insurance in place because that contribution stops. There's nothing worse than losing your family member. We get that. But when you lose that contribution, now you're messing with the livelihood of that family. And that's where life insurance comes into play. And that's when it becomes and gets way more important. And that's where the conversation comes into play. Man, there's so many like moving pieces to this. Like there's so many moving pieces, so many layers to how important it is for us to dive in and look and get more invested and get more educated about life insurance and make sure that we put some in place to protect our family after we pass, but there's also options to leverage life insurance while you're alive. And these are different conversations for different families and different dynamics and different income classes and all that and stuff like that, but you still need to know where you are so that if you know where you are, you definitely will have a better understanding of where you're going and where you're trying to get to. But if you don't know where you are, if you're not educated, if you don't sit down with someone, it doesn't have to be me. You don't sit down with someone and let them literally just ask you the right questions to get the right answers so that you can get a better understanding about life insurance and what it means to you right now and what it should mean to you and your family, and most definitely what it can mean for your family's future. If you don't do that, then you are drastically doing your legacy, your family a disservice because life insurance, without a doubt, is it's wealth on sale. I mean, I say that all the time and I mean it. Like it is literally wealth on sale. And it's a gift. It's a gift that you can give to your family because you just don't know when that present is going to need to be opened. You don't know, but you definitely, it's almost like shopping after Thanksgiving for Christmas, right? That you know what your kids want for Christmas. You know that the best time to get it is obviously sooner than later, right? And you want to make sure that you get it because you want your kids to be happy. But that's the same feeling that I have about looking at the time frame and making sure that you get properly protected sooner than later when it comes to protecting your family. Man, this has been about 20 minutes. I wasn't expecting to go this long, but I just wanted to just talk, just have a quick conversation with you guys and just talk about like where I am and what has happened with life insurance and how it's affecting so many people in a positive way, and how it can really affect, how it can so unfortunately be so negative when you had the opportunity but you didn't take advantage of it. you are a father, you are a mother, you love your kids no matter what their age is. You properly protecting yourself with some quality life insurance and making them the beneficiary is the greatest thing that you could, is one of the greatest things that you can do, and is the greatest thing that you can do for your legacy, because you raised them. So you raised them right, you put them on the right track, and at some point you are going to leave this earth, God willing, you before them. No parent wants to ever bury a child. So when that day happens, you want to make sure that you have financially done everything that you possibly could to give them the best running start, no matter where they are in life. No matter if they're an adolescent or if they're a teen or if they're a full grown adult, it doesn't matter, because that money can come into play for them to start their business, to carry on the family name, to buy land to carry on the family name, to buy a home, for themselves. Just so many different things that, that quality life insurance that you put in place for your kids can come into play and do. And it's just so important that I really wish that more of us would put it higher on the payment scale when we look at our expenses, when we look at our budget for the month. I really believe this is me. This is me. I really believe that your life insurance is the first bill. The first bill that you need to pay each month. There, I said it. Now, if you're thinking like, Maurice, why would life insurance? I mean, think about it. Out of every bill that you pay, your mortgage, your car note, car insurance, your insurances, your phone bills, however you tier them down from most important to least important, all the way down to the Wi-Fi or the Hulu or the Disney Plus, whatever, right? Netflix, whatever. However you tier all of those bills from most important on down to least important, there is only one bill that is giving to your family and not taking away from your family. God forbid something happened to you. And that is like, when I realized that and I started to share that with my prospects and potential clients, like, it really was a game changer, and it opened a door that you would have thought was already open common sensely, but respectfully, so many people are just not thinking about it like that. And just not thinking about it like that. So it's like, wow, I get it, but I never got it like that. Out of all the bills that you pay, that is the one bill. That is the one bill that is delivering a check to your family, opposed to delivering the next month's bill. That's the only one. That's the only one, guys. That's the only one. And that is, I mean, it's simply mind blowing when you think about it. And depending on now, and then when you leverage that, depending on the type of insurance that you get set up for yourself, there's options for you to build that insurance up and actually be able to borrow from yourself at later times, and no interest, no tax. Like, there's so many options that we have, and we be thinking and feeling like, oh, well, I don't have the income, or I don't have nothing to start nothing like that. But income tax time is right around the corner. You have to think that if you knew what to do with money, and if you could see how much better your life would be 2-3 years from now, if you just made one little adjustment with your finances and did one little thing different. If you could see what your future would look like, everybody would do it. But unfortunately, that's not the case. That's why you have to research, you have to study, you have to listen, to people that are trying to help you. You have to find you a financier, or find you a broker, an insurance broker, someone that's knowledgeable that can help you get a better understanding of your relationship with money and be able to speak the language of money. And the language of money, the foundation of everybody that you love, that you follow, that you communicate, everybody that you love, that you follow, that you look up to, if they are successful, then their foundation, the foundation of their success is going to always be insurance. It's going to be insurance because you want to protect the things you value. That's what you want to do. Tina Turner, long time ago. I mean, she probably still do. Had millions of dollars of insurance on her legs. Beyonce right now today still has insurance on her hair. Like you just can't get around it. Everything that's consumed, there's a component of insurance that's connected to it. There's insurance on all of your credit cards that you have in your wallet, that if you don't pay, they have it set up to where that company will still receive those funds through insurance and other things like that. So if everybody else is leveraging insurance to better themselves and better themselves right now, as well as better the future of their companies and the futures of their employees, then wouldn't it make sense for you to leverage to take that same play, run that same play, and leverage the insurance for yourself and leverage the insurance for your future generations of your family? It only makes sense. I've been talking to y'all for almost 30 minutes. I want to thank y'all, everybody that jumped on. Even if you just jumped on just to get a quick glimpse, get a listen. I appreciate you. I love you. If you like what I'm doing, I'm just dropping gems, just having an open dialogue conversation about life insurance. Anybody can jump in and give me and shoot a comment or whatever. I just want to just talk, man. I just want to just, get in front of more people that I can help, just educate more people, whether they decide to do business with me or not. It doesn't really matter. What matters is that more and more people, and respectfully more and more, especially of my people, are educated on this so that they can make the best informed decision of their life for their families. That's all I care about. I just care about more of us making better decisions about our money and understanding how to leverage it, knowing that our time is the most valuable thing that we own. So definitely doing things sooner than later that can help us earlier on, setting, being in our 30s and our 40s and preparing or setting up our 50-year-old or 60-year-old self to live an easier, lighter load, more relaxed, stress-free life is the goal. That's the goal. So no matter which way or how you want to get there, I mean, man, no matter what road you want to take to get yourself to your goals, you owe it to your family. You owe it to your children. You owe it to your dependents to protect that journey. I'll say it again. No matter which road you decide to take toward your goals, you owe it to yourself, to your family, to your dependents. You owe it to them to protect your journey while you're on the road going toward your goals, going toward your $1 million payday or your $1 billion payday, right? Because I speak that into existence for everybody. While you're traveling down that journey on that road, you want to have under you a protective net of insurance that if you ever were to fall off of that road, God forbid, right? You ever were to fall off of that road prematurely and you don't make it to the end of your goal, you don't make it to your goal, you don't make it to your million, you don't make it to your 10 million, you still have protected the journey by still being able to provide that lifestyle, provide that legacy for your family through insurance. You owe it to your family to protect the journey. It's been over 30 minutes, guys. That's all I wanted to talk about. I've been saying for the last 5 minutes I was going to get off of here. But as you can see, I will keep talking and keep talking and keep talking because I am so passionate about this. I love the idea that I can position myself to help hundreds of thousands of people inside of my organization and be paid well for it. I really love that I can give this opportunity to anybody that's willing and wanting to learn. I just love the aspect of this business so much, and I want to do everything that I can to get the information out there. So you like this video, you like this live, I'm just talking, and you want to talk with me about, possibly an opportunity, or you want to talk to me about, what your options is, getting the right questions asked so that you can give the right answers so that we can see if there's a plan or program that we can put you in to get you on the right track of protecting yourself and your family. Hit me up, follow, like, subscribe, do all of that. This video is going to be reposted over and over and over again because I want the information to get out there as many times as possible. I love you guys. Thank you so much for joining me on my first live. I love you and peace.